Hello everybody, welcome back to Disco Elysium. I am... Oh geez, this is where I am. I don't remember exactly... It's been a little bit. I'm gonna go back in here, see if I can start the next day now. Feel like that's a good move. I don't really need anything else, do I? Alright, well, I might as well try you again.
The door is closed. Still nothing the lieutenant gives you.
If it's still too... see... Okay.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still missing. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway.
Okay. I feel like I'm no closer to knowing
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Yes. Yes. Have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? As a police officer, you must understand that I cannot take you at your word without evidence being money. You can't stay here without money. Not until you...
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
Oh, Lieutenant.
Alright, let's go. I got almost halfway. That has to count for something. I just don't think I could, as much as I didn't want to swindle people. I felt like that was gonna lead me down a worse
Inside,
path.
you see a set of steering levers, a radio mic,
I have something here we could sell. We can...
transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the...
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Alright, so where am I going? Where's the canal? The canal's down this way, right? Or is it up? No, it's down this way. I know where I'm going. It's this one. Right? Yes. Wow, I haven't even been in here yet. Surprising.
It's not often that I see officers. What can I do for you?
Careful, have sufficient the police presence in it.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of entertained. He might be high. If he is, on what?
I wanna...
Yes, we'd like to sell these hub.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant.
Yes,
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
of course. I meant no offense.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners.
That's fair. I feel really
Anything
bad.
else you're thinking of selling? Anything else you're thinking of selling? Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. Aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos on the man are not that.
Another time, perhaps. Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
God.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions, the unhealthy kind. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive. But I was just happy to get rid of it. And of her, truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
My apologies, officer, but I have no...
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down in time.
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls.
Okay.
They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it.
Interesting. So
They went their way. It was a trip, but you know...
Wait, then it might be true. Everard's...
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
People as oleaginous.
Of course. I doubt it, but I can try. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Okay. So I have the money. I appreciate you, Kim. I would like to pay you back, but have no way of doing so at the moment. I got halfway in one day. I'm sure if he would have been like, ah, yes, I will give you one more night, that maybe, I mean, I don't know,
Can
maybe.
I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Well? Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Another thing. Great. Yes?
Okay. So I got 3 nights right now, plus whatever else. So I'm assuming I go in here.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation.
Yes. Okay. I'm down. I don't
Air
feel like I
outside
made
is
progress.
brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
So how do you think today went?
We inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on. Then you shot the body down, which was quite a shot. It was something. We still have to perform a field autopsy though. But we did do a thorough search of the crime scene. That's great. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean. Very important indeed. Well, we conducted. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however.
he's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everard.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief. Moving on, we tried to interview the Wild Palms rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
If
true.
Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
So we should
Above
talk to
all,
Joyce again.
Today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast, the rest has to keep up.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
That'd be an
Yes,
easy
although
job.
indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station.
Gotcha.
Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Rebachol. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
I mean, that makes a lot more sense in retrospect.
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Rebachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the Moralington leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
Or if they think you do.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a...
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool. Cigarette.
How did he
You
even
mean
get so
this?
cool?
This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
I don't know.
Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit below it all.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. Okay. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. Do you? In fact, we would need them even if you didn't think that way. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez, most of them at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous cloud, an aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. Two glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. The Union, the teenagers too. It's different inland. In Jamrock and the GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic change.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, how many do I have? I have no idea. Didn't realize I had 3. Bonus from thoughts. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Alright, let's go. Okay. Smell of the sea makes me dizzy.
The bed is cold.
The sheets,
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes.
Heck yeah. Day one.
And then sleep. And then
Wow.
Good going, buddy. Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week? Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man.
Alrighty. Well, if that wasn't freaking horrible at first, it...
The door is closed. Still, no, still, this door, this door.
I must be up very early. That's fine. What the? Okay. There are more people. Ah, Kim is awake. Beautiful. Good morning. Can I talk to you about this?
Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and one loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it. One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them. Continue.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own term. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I live...
You kind of want to go do it now.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got...
You know, there might be other places to sleep on this coast.
Okay.
Yes?
What do you have to say?
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of...
And there's no public phone.
The closest phone booth is down the coast. So
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweet. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there to let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Okay.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. You have more important things to...
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is... But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps.
The water lock, that was broken. Could this be it?
Oh my. What happened to the water lock? Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleep.
You're welcome.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast...
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Okay. Well, many people are there? Just the one? Yeah, we can just talk to this one dude.
Over here. Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are?
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
Yes, extremely normal. I'm not a gardener, by the way. I'm a leak, so let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will...
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What are we going to... The Union isn't going to...
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is...
This is where you say your bed.
He and his men carry themselves like giants. You'll need to prove your mettle to be taken seriously.
Detective,
Hey, dipshit.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
Oh, this is about him.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like...
You might want to start asking your questions now.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man, in his 30s, overbearingly masculine. Wants the world to know he's a macho man. Tobacco chewing and knuckle cracking. Who else do we have? Sitting on his right, standard working boots, size 45 or 46, eldest in the room, probably mid-50s, smoker, quiet. Across at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43, gang tattoos, Mesk or Sarah Maritzian, in his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations, hard to say what else. The ink is fading. And then, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46, the big dick, wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips, rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum? On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, These 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy. Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions.
The fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hired.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the...
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
You mean these boots? We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him. But yeah, we did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Who do you fucking think does?
Titus, no one was thinking...
That there's any question who's the leader. That's how he would have ended it. Titus won't let him.
No. 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 Fuck no! The big dick is right here. Ask.
Disregard the outburst, officer. None of the boys have any comment on their power relations. That night, they acted as one. That's all.
How many people have you sent to the Shades?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under...
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life. Oh, so you are...
So he's hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't associate with...
Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you are striking?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town. And he stepped out alive.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Kohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNA.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNEs.
We couldn't believe it either. But he fucking...
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation?
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking, grabbing...
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her...
There's something odd. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting a name. That's a Martin.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you anything?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus,
We overpowered him. Dragged his unconscious body to the tree. Put a noose around his neck.
Then we left him for seagulls,
Make them a bit more
We're done with this.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder.
Like what, Copper? Yeah, lawman. Why don't...
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance.
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear that while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
wise move. You made the right choice there.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law official. Again.
Good one, Tom.
About fucking time. Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
The door is closed. Still, the lieutenant. This door.
Mr. Dubois, every worker... That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today? I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's...
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door, which you did.
He was testing you, and...
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire.
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Sadamoritsa, you name it. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should... But enough about me and my fun. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a lift...
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushed. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood. Making sure...
That sounds a bit like organized.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if...
Again, that sounds...
So these idealists...
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, he probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him."
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they... Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. These guys turn up and...
So you believe the scabs were organized?
You said it.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate is colossal.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Oh, they are simply fine young men. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after it.
Interesting. Who's second?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure that work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really...
He's betting on them being useless to you.
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little...
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions? Was it a good... I don't know what happened. Yes, Harry.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat.
You're saying it, but I don't...
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should... Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, I'll know you're a solid socialist. Oh, that's very nice. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like if she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And of course, Harry, I have no interest in what she is doing. Tell her about...
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
See you soon, Deb.
Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my...
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Let me state this very clearly, Capo.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect. You see a heavy steel. The man ponders his cooking utensil. The door is this door still. The lieutenant gives you a The rotting man lies on his side. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. The fish lips.
I told you. Come on, officer. You know what if...
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But
unfortunately, no. And hygienically, they are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes. That's right.
Yeah, we got this. We're smart. The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the... Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings.
KK57.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals pre... That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Next, NA. Next, NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola, the pudgy mess of curdled meat.
Male.
Naively, the lieutenant does not double-check.
We're still going with ma... What else?
KK57.
None. At least not after the initial examination. interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs.
See?
Babroudin, yes.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin. The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a The assistant has a color photo. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo, well nourished. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is
Fucking low talking shit.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark. It's no use. We should get chain cutters. Damn corpse. We had a good rhythm going.
Snow covers the white. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of a metallic drawer slides out the handle. You can do good work with these. Cut chains, locks, and rope. The pull-out toolbox. Rotting man, the lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
See? My pig.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equal. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts, and you jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. A really, really bad smell is coming from there now, and some kind of cracking sound.
Yeah, fuck.
Told you my.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He sinks. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another.
Here. The rope rises to a point. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin. Above and below, the chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is...
No!
I fucking...
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence. Back is symmetrical and intact. Up. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
Last item. Hands. Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant.
With his eyes almost closed, You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh.
Yeah, Jack!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants.
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of... Inside, you see mute silence as always.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. NA. Ah. Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Unless you have untapped reservoirs of non...
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Oh, so we inflicted them? Okay, so there's an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention it. Better not to muddy the waters.
See? Why don't you...
Now, injuries. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest.
Right. Next. Nothing. Just in case. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of...
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, We established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say?
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
You tilt your head. Also look. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
I'm gone. I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about jokes either. A killer. A motherfucker. Go ahead. Into the wild. In the past. Way out in the west. What do you mean? It's the power of your... You mad? Go ahead. Ask me more questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want... Here you go, you loony. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No, you're not a because you have. Come back later, Corporal. Amuse. Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. You pull down his breeches. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Can't get it.
Do you think we missed something? Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body. Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building? Now, detective, I've rarely been disappointed by the size of a giant ice bear fridge. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking...
The man is decomposed. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Yes?
The bear's eyes are dead.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it's more than big enough and cold enough. Honestly, it's perfect.
Only the black cable is a giant electric mammal.
Great. The owners of this building will just have to keep...
The bear's eyes are still glowing.
Of course. I'll take the... It's not going to be the...
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the butcher, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in an ice bear fridge.
You have created an ice bear sarcophagus.
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in an ice bear fridge. This story does not leave this room. As impressive as the fridge is, At least we've stopped the body from decomposing.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.